Today, Nancy is asking whether shared hosting is OK for a small business website. Shared hosting is when multiple websites are hosted on the same server or on the same IP address. The alternative is dedicated hosting, when a server or an IP address is dedicated to a single website. This is an extremely common setup, and it's critical for the web since there's a limited number of IP addresses available. Also worth noting is that it's often impossible to tell from the outside how a website is actually hosted. Is it a single server, a cluster of servers, a single data center, or even multiple data centers? Using shared hosting is perfectly fine and does not negatively affect your site in Google search. There is, however, one thing to watch out for. Sometimes, when too many websites are hosted on a system with limited capacity, it can happen that the server is overloaded. This can result in the server and its websites becoming very slow. The same thing can happen with a dedicated hosting though. Having a website hosted on a slow server makes your users unhappy and can make it harder to crawl. Just to be clear, a dedicated server is not always fast, and a shared server is not automatically slow. Another concern we sometimes hear is that there might be other bad websites hosted on the same server. SEOs sometimes call this a server in a bad neighborhood. This is not something I'd be worried about. In practice, most commonly used hosting providers watch out for this on their own. There's generally a wide range of websites hosted on shared hosting, including some fantastic ones and some bad ones too. For Google, this is fine and not problematic. We'll treat each website based on its own merits, not based on its virtual neighbors. So, in short, for Google, using shared hosting is perfectly acceptable. There's no need to move to dedicated hosting or a dedicated IP address for SEO reasons. And that's it for this time. I hope you found this useful and insightful.